The moment a security monitoring agent flags an intrusion, incident response ceases to be a localized IT problem. It immediately triggers a simultaneous high-stakes operation across three distinct fronts. The first front is strictly technical. Analysts must successfully preserve hyper-volatile system data before it vanishes from active memory. The second front is institutional. This technical evidence must be packaged and escalated through an organization's Computer Security Incident Response Team, the CSIRT, to meet a mandatory 72-hour reporting window. The third front is legal. Modern statutory frameworks apply strict liability to data breaches, shifting the burden of proof entirely onto the compromised organization. Surviving a modern breach demands flawless execution across all three domains at once. A single failure in technical preservation guarantees a cascading failure in the organization's legal defense. Traditional digital forensics relied on a dead box methodology. When a threat was detected, administrators would pull the plug on the machine to freeze the state of the physical hard drive. Today, pulling the plug is an operational error. It instantly destroys high-value volatile data, including active network connections, running malicious processes, and RAM-resident encryption keys. Analysts must now capture data from live, running systems. This creates a technical paradox, a digital Heisenberg dilemma. To capture evidence, an analyst must execute extraction software, but running software inherently alters the exact system state they are trying to record. When an analyst launches an extraction tool, the operating system must allocate memory. The kernel clears space, overriding sections of previously unallocated or anonymous memory. Those overwritten memory spaces frequently contain the exact volatile artifacts the analyst was attempting to retrieve, permanently dissolving the evidence. To mitigate this unavoidable data destruction, incident response teams operate under strict guidelines known as the Order of Volatility, established by the Scientific Working Group on Digital Evidence. This chart maps the expected lifespan of digital data, outlining the exact operational sequence required to minimize evidence loss. The protocol dictates capturing the most fragile data first, starting with CPU registers, moving to RAM, network state, running processes, and finally the physical disk. Strict adherence to the order of volatility is the only recognized method to balance evidence retrieval with the physical reality of system state alteration. Even following the correct order, extracting data from a live system introduces the problem of smear. Because copying gigabytes of RAM takes time, the operating system continues to function and change while the image is actively being written. This delay bakes temporal inconsistencies directly into the acquired data. The documentation of the specific extraction tool's processing time and limitations becomes as critical to the investigation as the forensic payload itself. Beyond memory smear, analysts face severe hardware constraints. Modern architecture relies on unified extensible firmware interfaces, UEFI secure boot, and trusted platform modules, or TPMs, which actively block standard forensic operations. Secure boot is designed to ensure a machine only runs trusted software, which prevents an analyst from booting the compromised computer using a clean external forensic operating system. If an analyst attempts to bypass this restriction by disabling secure boot in the firmware, they trigger a hardware trap. The TPM detects the change in the boot sequence and immediately locks down BitLocker or other full disk encryption keys.
Technical extraction is a fragile operational window. A single uncalibrated attempt to bypass hardware security destroys both the forensic evidence and the decryption keys required to read it. Once the local host is contained and an acquisition is completed using the order of volatility, a strict institutional clock begins ticking for the entire organization. Operating under RFC 2350 guidelines, the organization's Computer Security Incident Response Team, the internal CSIRT, must immediately step in to verify and analyze the acquired evidence. This escalation requires a highly specific data payload. The local analyst must deliver cryptographically verifiable hash values, clean memory dumps, and correlating CM logs to the central team. If the organizational CSIRT determines the intrusion exceeds their containment capacity, they push this verified forensic payload up to a sectoral authority. The national CSIRT then utilizes this precise data to map the broader threat and orchestrate collaborative remediation across vulnerable networks nationwide. Flawless forensic data holds zero institutional value unless it is properly formatted and pushed through this rigid CSIRT escalation pipeline. The consequences of failing this pipeline are explicitly legal. Consider the operational environment of Indonesia, where the telecom provider Telkomsel manages millions of connections across a massive commercial grid. In 2022, the Telkomsel IndiHome service suffered a catastrophic breach. 26.7 million user records, including national identity numbers and browsing histories, were leaked to the dark web. Investigations traced the exfiltration back to vulnerabilities in outsourced employee access. Telkomsel held standard ISO 27001 security certifications. However, they lacked active zero-trust architecture and forensic-ready audit trails, resulting in a structural security failure. Under Indonesia's Personal Data Protection Law, specifically UU PDP Pasal 47, this type of structural failure triggers a legal mechanism known as strict liability. Strict liability radically shifts the burden of proof. Victims of a data leak are not required to prove that the corporation was negligent. Instead, the corporation is legally presumed liable unless they can definitively prove they executed technical due diligence. This legal hazard intersects directly with reporting rights. Under Pasal 46, a breached entity must accurately report the scope of the incident to national authorities within 3 days, a maximum 72-hour window. Failing to meet that 72-hour window transforms a technical oversight into severe administrative and criminal liability, allowing regulators to levy fines of up to 2% of the company's annual revenue. Nominal compliance badges provide no legal shield. Modern statutes penalize structural failure by automatically assuming corporate guilt under strict liability frameworks. The three operational fronts, technical acquisition, CSIRT escalation, and legal defense, are structurally codependent. Without verified OOV-compliant forensic data extracted at the host level, the internal CSIRT cannot assess the intrusion's true blast radius. Without that assessment, the organization operates blind, missing the 72-hour statutory reporting window. Failing to execute timely, accurate reporting snaps the strict liability trap shut, leaving the organization with no legal defense against catastrophic financial penalties. Zero-trust architecture and active CM monitoring have transitioned from IT best practices into the statutory requirements for proving due diligence. Deep technical precision at the exact moment of a breach provides the data necessary to navigate the CSIRT pipeline. It is the prerequisite for reporting and the only valid shield against strict liability.